Welcome to the collective. Ooh. If you are here, then maybe there's a message for you. You can stick around and listen to it or share to a friend. Take only what resonates for you. Trust in your intuition at all times. Earlier, I took a walk and it's like the energy of don't lose yourself within your relationships. That no matter what is going on in your life, it doesn't mean that you have to limit yourself or that the things you want are further away from you, because it's not the truth. If you have people that's around you that are distracting you, then that's a different story. It's a lot of chaos going on. Smudge stick feel is bumping into stuff. Maybe some of y'all's energy is kind of off in a way. Or you're probably going to experience this if you haven't already. Or maybe this is something that's been going on. What did I do? But anyways, aside from that, when I was outside, I had got this energy of like I seen the moon and then it was like stars around it. It was nighttime, of course. Today is June 1st. It's 11:46 p.m. So it was around 11 some p.m. when I was outside. And I had got this energy that sometimes what's going on in the 3D plane, it's like it has nothing to do with your dreams, goals, and aspirations. Regardless, you're able to reach them. Whether you're a single parent, whether you've become pregnant by a person that's not fit, whether you're struggling in school or within finances, family situation, it's like regardless, maybe these things are just pushing you towards where you need to be. But I know the energy that I had got, it made me feel, with all the things and the chaos that's going around within people's personal relationships, right? People who are close to you. Never lose the harmony within yourself and within your life, right? Just because there's inequality, separation, disharmony, that has nothing to do with your path or your purpose. So when I was seeing the moon, regardless of what was going on in my life, see, a lot of times when things are going less chaotic and it's more smooth, you're able to be more happier and have more hope. And it seems like you're this lucky individual, and then you probably go through the opposite. But even in the opposite, because you know, sometimes when people go through the opposite, they start feeling like lack of faith, lost, etc. So it's like in this case, I guess because I went through this pattern so many times of being sad, depressed, angry, whatever the case may be, feeling alone or whatever the case may be, I looked at the moon and it just reminded me, or gave me, it's something other than reminder. It just gave me this deeper meaning that whatever I feel like I couldn't achieve or reach, it seemed too far away, it was right there in my hands all along. It's always still there. So this is really important, to build that relationship with yourself. Wheel of Fortune. Angel number 10 could be very significant for this collective. Whether you're seeing 5 and 5 or 9 and 1, 6 and 4, 10. A lot of times 10 can tie to endings. Finally. But endings do bring new beginnings, and just because something ends, it doesn't mean that you have to look at it in a bad way. A lot of times it's really for your highest good. Growth can happen here, self-discovery, just newness. So the deck that I'm using, it has its own meanings and keywords, so I'm going to read this. For the Wheel of Fortune, it can tie to cycles, change, right? It says life is full of ups and downs, and those forces are sometimes out of your control. Like a spinning wheel, things come back. Like a spinning wheel, things come and go in a cycle. Do not be complacent during good times, and during bad times, remember that things will eventually get better. So regardless of what you're going through, eventually it will get better. Right? And when you are experiencing good times, make sure you do enjoy that, because it may not be like that forever. It has nothing to do with being negative or whatever the case may be. It's just like sometimes things of the unexpected happens. Life changes, life cycles, destiny, up and downs. Sometimes it's just how life goes. But as I was saying earlier, this stops nothing. It shouldn't interfere with your happiness. It shouldn't interfere with your goals. It shouldn't interfere with your dreams. So learn how to coexist with life's ups and downs. You know? Because if you don't, you will become miserable, depressed, resentful, probably taking your anger out on other people, not seeing the good in things, not counting your blessings. It happens to the best of us. Up until we then come into the realization that life is too short, or maybe something temporarily brings us happiness, and then we shift moods, right? But this is to help you within your now, to heal your present, and to be able to live and not survive, right? In the future. In the present too. But we're just naming the past, present, future energy. The list is open, you guys, if you're wanting to get on the list. All right. A lot of you guys, this could be time to work, finances, teams, or collaborative pursuits. So sometimes maybe you've experienced some type of shift in your life that caused grief or some type of loss. So now you have these negative emotions that possibly surround you through your day-to-day life. But I feel like this is not stopping the money. This is not stopping the potential, or like, you know, opportunities to work on a project or to connect with people, to bring your ideas, their ideas into fruition. The Devil. You can't be bound or caught up in negative emotions and things that are not, it's really not good for you. I don't know if you become used to being in this space, Some of you guys can have like this dark cloud over your life in its entirety, or at different areas of your life or different points in time in your life. Some of you guys are probably still affected by things that has already happened. So on the back, the Knight of Pentacles. Time heals, you know. Just give it time. Sometimes you have to go in and do the work and have positive coping mechanisms. But sometimes time, a lot of things also takes time. Time heals, for sure. With the Three of Pentacles, all right, fire energy, earth energy, and water energy could be very significant. It says, the Three of Pentacles indicates the beginning of a project, but one that requires teamwork. However, you play a role in this too, and it seems that your efforts are finally getting recognized. Let your skills and capabilities shine, but remember that your fate is currently tied to others. This is a card of skill, teamwork, and encouragement. All right. Now, the Five of Cups here, which can tie to loss, negative emotions, dwelling on the past. It says you have recently experienced a loss or have had things not go according to plan and are experiencing the resulting grief and feelings of disappointment. You may be having trouble letting go of the past. However, there is still hope. Two of the Cups are still upright. Find it in yourself to forgive, learn from your past, but keep moving forward. This is a card of loss, grief, and bereavement or bereavement. I may not be pronouncing that word right, so I'm going to spell it out. B-E-R-E-A-V-E-M-E-N-T. All right. So maybe there's some accepting that needs to go on, finding peace, some forgiveness that needs to happen. I don't see lack of carelessness. I don't see lack of growth. I don't see bad luck. Okay? But maybe some of you guys don't see an increase in your life, or you don't feel the abundance. Now with the Devil here, this can tie to bondage, attachment, addictions, right? It can tie to many things individually or within relationships. So just apply the messages to how it fit in your life. Now, the Devil represents your shadow or darker side and the negative forces that constrain you and hold you back from being the best version of yourself. You may be at the effect of negative habits, dependencies, behaviors, thought patterns, relationships, and addictions. This is a card of greed, addiction, materialism, and sexuality. So like I said, different things are going on in your life. The ups, the downs, the good times, the bad times, right? But I feel like you're not alone, and that other people are playing an important role in your life as well. But I feel like you need to not dwell on the past, because this is affecting your present. With the Devil being out here, I feel like you're caught up in the negative habits, dependencies, behaviors. We talked about it. Certain thought patterns that shouldn't exist, right? Going through certain things in your relationships. There may be certain addictions, whether it's obsession, codependency, whatever it may be. Maybe you should create some type of routine to help you stay on top of not being in a certain energy, like practicing mindfulness, journaling. Sometimes we don't think, oh, journaling, that's not doing nothing for me. Meditation, nah, that's not. But in reality, it is. Sometimes you got to let your body get used to things. Not a lot of times you see the results instantly, but it doesn't mean that you're not making progress. So don't instantly give up when you don't see what you want to see with your two eyes, right? So when it comes to the Knight of Pentacles, this is a court card. So it talks about personalities, characters, right, of a situation. So you could be an earth sign, or you could have earth placements, or maybe you're dealing with an earth sign. But with the Knight of Pentacles, it's a patient, methodical, and hardworking type of knight, right? Trustworthiness, reliability, and routine work are required from you right now. The work may seem dull, but they will pay off eventually. You must see all your tasks through to the end. This is a card of practicality, steadfastness, and routine. You could have experienced some type of tower if you haven't already. Something that shooken up your life, whether it was a divorce, a death of a loved one, financial failure, health problems, a natural disaster, job loss, or any event, you know, that really shakes you to your core, right? Affecting you spiritually, mentally, and physically. There's just no escaping it, right? So maybe this is something that you've experienced in the past, or that you're currently experiencing. This is a card of misery, distress, indigence. If I'm not pronouncing that wrong, it's spelled Indigence. It's a card of disaster. But I feel like whatever you're going through, you're able to get through it. It may seem like you're slow progressing, or slow getting over certain things. And I feel like that's only because you're still dwelling in whatever happened to you. It was very detrimental to you mentally, spiritually, emotionally. So I feel like it's something that's still affecting you overall. But this was just something that was meant to happen and then go on by. It was meant to release, accept, move forward. But we have free will, right? Sometimes some of us, we become stuck on things. We are still hurt from things. So maybe you can create some type of healthy routine for yourself. Maybe practice mindfulness to help you pay attention to when you're sitting in these energies. Because this is not doing anything for you or anyone else. Especially if you have to work with certain people. I don't know if you're co-parenting. I don't know if this is business related. I don't know what's going on in your life. You know, okay? Maybe this is time to nostalgia, childhood memories, the past, kids. It's fine to walk down memory lane, but remember that the past is behind you, and it's not wise to constantly be dwelling on it. So remember to focus on the now. Sometimes we live too far in the future and too deep in the past, and we're not in the now. That's how it seems like time tends to go by quickly, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So implement healthier routines for yourself and give yourself enlightenment, okay? Help yourself heal and move past the things that you've experienced, because it's really taken over your character. It's like this negative entity attached to you. And it could just be the spirit of depression, psychological stress, negative habits, right? Different things. But it's not healthy and it's not good. Yeah. See, you've been betrayed in your life. Yeah, I understand that 100%. That betrayal is attaching itself to you, like very much so. Or really, you're attaching yourself to it. Sometimes we don't even realize these things. Yep, it's time to fight back. It's time to take back control of your life and release those negative emotions that are taking a toll on you. All right? It says watch your health. Cats could be very significant. Spiders, spider webs, lizards, frogs, males or masculine energies, Spanish, maybe Latino or Latin, or maybe something about bilingual, English, Spanish, America, Americans. Excuse me. This could be tied to a new romance, or maybe some of you guys, there's a new romance happening. So with the towers, it could be a good thing and it could be a not so good thing. Most of the time, it's a not so good thing. Most of the time, it's like very chaotic or whatever the case may be. But sometimes it could just be things that are happening unexpectedly that can change your life. But it can be something that feels good instead of that hurts. Confirm a new romance. We got never leave. Confirm never leave. I'm picking up on separate energies. Like this could be in a positive way or it can be in a negative way. Like with this new romance, maybe there's this energy that you picked up on to never leave something, never give up on something, whatever the case may be. Maybe there's certain greed or addictions that's tied to this energy from your part or another's. But from a more positive light, I'm getting that this is going to be a connection that will last for a lifetime. Eternal love. Why is danger and trickster here? So for some of you guys, when it comes to you feeling like there's danger, right? When it comes to you feeling like something is gonna bamboozle you, trust your instincts, right? Because a person like you who's capable of giving and receiving love, who's very intuitive, tapped in with sacred knowledge, esoteric information, I feel like it matters, right? But maybe sometimes, just sometimes, certain things are just all in your head because of the trauma, the PTSD, the negative emotions, to where you're not able to see what the good things, right? Or the truth maybe. So some of you guys, yes, you need to trust your instincts. Somebody is most definitely not someone you should fight for. It's not a connection you should fight for. You do better leaving it behind and coming into new. For others of you guys, this may be a love of a lifetime, but maybe it just seems too good to be true, or it just seems like it's a risk. But regardless, I'm getting the energy, like no matter what it is for you, to trust in your instincts. karma on the back of the deck, which can tie to cause and effect, right? Beautiful, beautiful energy. I feel like you, whatever you went through, the abuse you went through, you did not deserve that, honey. You're somebody that's meant to be rich, will be rich. This can be within prosperity. It can be within your energy. I may be talking to someone that's older, whether it's by age or whether it's just by the wisdom you carry. But you're coming up as the mature woman. The rich girl. Maybe you got some money put up for yourself. Maybe you're encouraged to. Everybody's life is different. Ancestors. Your ancestors are coming out. Yeah. Y'all done dealt with a lot for sure. You know how people get this energy of, oh, tomato, tomato. Like they're throwing tomatoes at something or someone because they feel like it's not commending, right? It's more like poor quality or whatever the case may be. But I feel like whatever you did was the opposite of that. So maybe you had haters. Maybe you dealt with people who projected onto you their own insecurities and pain. But this has only led to trauma, emotional, mental, physical, etc. abuse that you did not deserve. Good people go through unfair things as well. The ups and downs as well. Right? But you got to remember that there's still something in your life to be happy about, smiling about. Maybe it's just you that you can still be happy and, you know, feel great about. I understand you may have lost someone in your life. I understand that relationship didn't work out. I understand that you may be going through disharmony or financial issues or whatever the case may be. But there are still some things that can actually promote positive emotions. Don't just sit in what didn't work out, because that's probably why you're looking at life from a place of like this dark cloud over yourself. So trust me, with this devil energy, it's the opposite of freedom. So any chance it gets, I'm not seeing any type of weakness here. Even though some of you guys may be feeling a little weak, but regardless, maybe that's you needing to stop criticizing yourself so hard, because we could be our worst critics. But I don't know, from like a religious standpoint, you know how they say, oh, the devil always busy, or like certain, whatever the case may be. It's given that, or the devil tricks you and all this stuff. It's given that this devil energy, by any means, if it picks up on greed, addiction, materialism, lack of liberation, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it can get its hands on, you're more accessible to being controlled by this devil energy, manipulated, bonded. And I do mean this figuratively, right? Especially if you're not religious, because sometimes it's an energy, and energy, it changes. So this can just be a spirit of hate that you have on your shoulders, a spirit of greed, a spirit of addiction. All these things could be temporary and probably just here because of your experiences. So you don't have to. But the devil is never sleeps, right? So you're more accessible in being in low vibrational energy. But this is going to affect you tremendously. Your plans, your emotions, the way you see things, the way you operate. We can't have that, Earth Angel. See, your energy, your spirit is very beautiful if you resonate with me, right? Beautiful energy. Earth Angel is like a light worker, you know, very humanitarian. I would love to have nothing but Earth Angels around me. So Earth Angels, very ethereal soul energy. Beautiful. Chef's kiss. Confirm rich girl. Confirm rich girl. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You rich in spirit and in prosperity. Change is coming. You're about to be rich. You're about to meet some nice guy. I feel like the law has something to do with this, whether this is figuratively like justice or whether this is seriously like courthouse, the adjudication system type vibes. But the rich girl is about to meet a nice guy for once. Whether you're a man or a woman, flip it around. It's happening. Change is here. Confirm. Mature woman. You're this mature woman because of your experiences, your wisdom, your soul, the way you think, the way you operate. That's why you're protected. You have this like whole protection bubble around you every time. Maybe you can be a person that always got, maybe you're a person that keeps their heart on their sleeve, right? You can be mature in age, but you don't have to. I literally feel like this is deeper than age. I feel like it's just about who you are. From ancestors. Ooh. We got divination here. Your ancestors is flowing through your readings. When you're doing readings, when you're getting readings, your ancestors talking to you, or they're connected in some type of way. Then we have blocked on the back. You always have a team around you, because I don't know why I was getting the energy. Wait, I know the ancestors, the collective is not being blocked from their ancestors and from this and that. Maybe I'm also getting this energy like sometimes to get your mind right and to get back in a certain space, like to just give readings a break, right? Because sometimes your readings can change your whole life. That's why I tell people, only take what resonates. Sometimes you come into a collective and you probably take every single message that came out. I used to do the same thing before I was a reader. That's why it is really important to connect with a reader who can really connect, like connect intuitively. They know the cards, whatever the case may be, but really connect. Not someone who's going through certain life issues, because a lot of times that can interfere with their message and it could become more personal than collective. Yeah, some type of confirm this blocked energy. Somebody tried to do a love spell, that's blocked. Somebody tried to steal from you. Brought you some type of emotional pain. Now your ancestors stepping in and No access for all of these individuals. But maybe some of you guys, your ancestors pop up in the divination, or maybe you're being encouraged to, like, you know how they say sometimes it's cool to, like, I don't know, it's just giving the energy, like, you know how sometimes you're being called to turn off the noise, get into meditation, and just go within. It's like you're not using things outside of yourself, because divination, it's a tool, it's outside of self. So I don't know why I'm also getting this energy, like, take a little break for some of you guys, this may be for some of you guys, from divination. Because maybe your ancestors, maybe it's blocking something that your ancestors are trying to tell you or send through to you. Because say, for instance, if your ancestors is trying to uplift you, encourage you, and help you shift towards like a certain area of your life, but here you go, you see a reading that says, oh, Paul wants you back, and then you go back into that energy, and now you in codependency energy, obsessed, except whatever the case may be, probably missing out on that divine counterpart you could have had if you didn't see that one reading. I don't know why I'm getting that energy. I don't know if it's personal, honey, because sometimes I can only read what exists to me already, like based on my own knowledge and experience in the world. Like, I'm 24, whatever I picked up on. But honestly, I do feel like it's outside of me, because I like to be really specific, and I like to make sure that I'm giving messages for the collective. So I honestly do feel like somebody was meant to hear that message, because like I said, it happens to the best of us. Like, I for sure used to always, I'm telling you, take every single reading. And sometimes those readings did not do me any justice, because I thought it was giving me a green light to do something, when in reality, that wasn't the case at all. Like this one girl who's really good at what she does, she ended up mentioning something, and I thought the message was for me, but apparently it wasn't, honey. Or maybe it was in a certain way, but with our own free will, we interpret things in a certain way. We act in a certain way. So what I did was basically give myself karma by listening to what they had said, and me interpreting it in a way that they may have meant, or that they may not have not meant, you know? And it was a collective. It wasn't even a personal. And I've had personals done where someone said, this is your twin flame. Nope, that's not your twin flame. You know, so it's just like, sometimes you just got to go back to when certain things didn't exist to you, when all there was God, right? When all there was the invisible forces working with you. So take a moment to really connect with your ancestors, because I feel like they're trying to connect with you, but maybe it's kind of difficult to do. But like I said, the message goes different ways for a lot of you guys. That's one message in itself. And then another message is they're getting through. They're just blocking other people from having access to you. People who trying to do readings on you, get readings on you. People who trying to do love spells. Like, even if you feel alone, like, your ancestors is like always there, having your back regardless, you know? So it's like separate messages that I was picking up for that, but I'm going to confirm some more of it. Why are the ancestors here? Why are the ancestors coming out in the reading? Because this is what they do. You get in divinity and occupation. Maybe it has something to do with a job. Maybe it has something to do with God. Angel number 92 and 34. 84 could be significant. 44. Why is divination here? Abundance. So this can be figuratively or literally, right? It can be negatively or positive. When you think of abundance, you think of a bountiful amount, infinity, a lot, excessive, right? Now, maybe they come through your readings a lot, or maybe you get a lot of readings. You need a break. Confirm blocked. Earth Angel. From the Earth Angel. Ooh. From the Earth Angel. Wow. Maybe you're connected with voodoo. Some people don't know where they come from, who their ancestors are. Maybe someone tried to do voodoo. Some type of love spell. But with blocked here, no access. Somebody don't have access to you because you're an Earth Angel. And because maybe they tried to do something to you without integrity. But I'm confirming the ancestors. Like the ancestors, the block, the divination. What is this? Real love. Has something to do with a partnership that's real and true. Then we got twin flame on the back. Wow. Trust in your intuition because the high priestess is coming up again and rising star. Damn, I think your ancestors are really trying to tell you something. Like, I don't know why. And then we got please help right here. Like, child, I feel like it's a karmic masculine and a divine masculine. Okay. I know this message went a whole nother way. Confirm the karmic masculine. Confirm the divine masculine. So this karmic masculine could act like a child. You could be their child. You could have a child by them. They could be very immature. They could be young in age. Because the energy that came out for the karmic masculine was child. Maybe this could be from somebody when you were younger. Like you had more of... You were more closer to your youth or... Maybe angel number 2 or 11 or something like that could be significant. Maybe whoever this karmic masculine was, they went through like a lot of things in their childhood. Some ritual. With the divine masculine, we got ritual coming out and confirming ritual is bliss. Maybe the divine masculine is like some type of witch, warlock energy. Person that's happy with themselves or within. You cried out for help. Wow, you must have really been going through some things. I'm glad you're still maneuvering through life. Yeah, eventually nothing stays, you know, horrible forever, you know. Eventually things will get better, so. Okay, what are the ancestors trying to tell the collective? Divine Feminine came out. What about the Divine Feminine, which is usually nurturing, soft life? What is this message trying to tell me? I know I said the message earlier. That's why you trust your intuition. But I just feel like it's something else I want to add to it. But I had two scenarios in my head and nothing else is really coming up. What is the ancestors trying to tell me about this divine feminine? You could be the divine feminine or somebody else. It says health concern. Yeah, I did see an energy of being, like, paying attention to your health. Maybe something about a hospital is significant, because I see them, they look like they're in a hospital bed and gown with an IV in their arm and fluid going into it. This also could be somebody other than you. Maybe someone that you know. Maybe you have ancestors who are still currently alive that are also sharing a life right now with you. You know, like grandmas, grandpas, or something like that. I mean, it don't have to just be like an age thing. Children can come up as, you know, ancestors, you know, if you believe that people been here before and they just get reincarnated. And of course, in this earthly plane, you start off as a kid and then you get older. But what is the ancestors trying to tell me about the divine feminine? Gift. Then the gift, the card fell in the reverse. I picked it up and it was in the reverse. I just feel like it has something to do with a partnership. Why are the ancestors here? Got the North Node coming out. I feel like it has something to do with your path, your purpose, why you're here. If you believe you're here for a reason. Maybe they're trying to help you, warn you, caution you. That's what they do anyway. So maybe they're just ancestors being the ancestors, doing what they, like how angels are angels. God is God. Like you have like these, and ancestors are like your ancestors. I feel like they're just doing what they do. So that could be in the form of support. Whatever else they do. That relationship energy keep coming out. Then we got false narrative. I don't know if divination is swaying you in a way that's not accurate, or if you're mistaking a karmic for a divine masculine. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Because the message earlier that I was getting, it wasn't really as specific as like all this other stuff we're getting into. I should have known something was going to happen like that when I pulled this deck. But I don't feel like it was just that one specific situation. For some of you guys, maybe this is something that's going to happen in like the distant future. And it's just probably just cautioning you ahead of time. Maybe some of you guys, this is past or present related. A lot of times readings are like timeless, so they could resonate tomorrow, the day after, next year. So it like, of course in the present moment as well. But like I said, with this main message, I'm just being encouraged to let you guys know to trust in your intuition. Like if it don't apply, it don't feel right, it seems more fortune telling than intuitive. And when I say fortune telling, I mean something that you don't really know yet, to really like have the receipts or whatever the case may be. And you don't have to take it, you know. But sometimes, like I said, fortune telling is a true thing. It's been backed up by science as well. So it's just like, it can really be anything. Like, because I know earlier I was talking about how I don't know if somebody needs your help and the answer, like you've been connected, you're connected with this person to help them. Because like you're this earth angel, and maybe it's like a part of like your purpose or destiny. I don't really know. Maybe it's another energy that's like the ancestors is coming through to tell you, hey, you can't hear us, or, you know, connect with us if you're too caught up in the 3D world and you're looking at all these readings that are probably contradicting, or one reading is saying this and another reading is saying this, or your intuition is saying, okay, boom, the readings is saying, okay, bam. Like, it's just a whole bunch of different stuff. It makes sense because it's a collective, it's not a personal, but it's just a whole different things that's coming up for what I can, like, take from the message. From divinity and occupation. You coming up as single, sexy, and successful. Or maybe this is somebody else. Maybe you've moved on from somebody. This is tying to divinity and occupation. Maybe, you know, when you think of certain things, and, you know, there's this pretty privileged thing going around, but you're someone that's very, very beautiful inside and out, and successful, whether that's with your material values, possessions, or whether that's within who you are, spirit, soul-wise. But you're of God. You're this earth angel. And I feel like you have some type of godly duty or job that's not like one of the government jobs, like, oh yeah, I get paid for this. Like, but I feel like it's not an occupation, it's who you are, but at the same time it has something to do with some type of work. But God's work, people probably wouldn't expect you to be, they probably would expect you to be shallow and, oh, you don't know what the hell you talking about. But when they really, and like I said, a lot of times people just, they're insecure, they project on you, whatever the case may be. But I feel like you have a huge purpose, man. But there's some type of bondage that I keep seeing, because the devil energy was out earlier. I just seen bondage in the oracle cards. This could be entity, right? Whether it's a human, a vessel on this plane, or whether it's energy. It's not like a person. And it's something that can also change, right? So, what the hell was I saying? Man, I was trying to make a point. Confirm, blocked. Damn, Earth Angel came out again. I shuffled the deck and everything. Why does Earth Angel keep coming out here? Right, so I feel like a lot of people are being blocked. A lot of things are being blocked. That's probably why you still here today. Maybe a lot of things were supposed to take you out shift you off to another path. But in reality, it's like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And maybe you surprise yourself from how much you bounce back from things. But I feel like certain relationships most definitely was the main thing that probably caused you to become depressed. I know we picked up on that energy of betrayal earlier. So I'm just getting the energy that a lot of people have no access to the earth angel. That's probably why you've been detaching from people. That's probably why your ancestors been stepping in, because they're working in the spirit realms. And if you have some ancestors that walk on this plane, low key, they helping in the physical as well. I really feel like this is people who are probably transitioned over, like they're not on the physical plane, but so the reason why I'm getting all this is because the last confirmation was unbothered. Like, I feel like regardless of what you go through, of course, you're like this deep feeling individual. So, of course, things going to make you sad, etc. You probably sad right now. Hell, like we talked about it earlier, with y'all still dwelling on things that happened to you in the past. So, you probably not feeling like how you used to feel. You probably dwelling on the things that didn't work out. So, if you didn't get to see this message in the beginning and you can't stay for the end, I'll be posting it on YouTube. Link in the bio. But I do feel like no matter what you have went through, with who you are and where you've come from, because you may be an ancestor to some damn body, but you probably on a path of like some type of purpose on this human journey, right? Maybe your ancestors are trying to remind you of God's work that you're doing. You know, sometimes, like I said, sometimes the 3D plane problems seems bigger than what's going on spiritually. And sometimes we have free will. We choose to believe in, we can believe in any damn thing we want to believe in, religion, spirituality, or nothing. So it's like sometimes people start lacking faith. Sometimes people start seeing themselves, and it's like anything that be going on. So I feel like your ancestors, when you were conscious, when you were unconscious, they just there. And I feel like they caution you of things, and they also guide you, help you, support you. But if you lose yourself on this journey and you start like not being as tapped in with your intuition, with your godly energy, your purpose here, you just start getting caught up in the world's chaos and BS and the matrix mindset and lifestyle, then maybe it's harder for them to reach you. But regardless, they're still there. Like I said, they be speaking through you through the divination tools, but sometimes you got to be discerning on what messages are for you and what is not. More about the energy of the ancestors. Yes. Ancestors said hello. Yeah, your ancestors here for sure. Maybe some of y'all could have felt them. Like I said, I was talking when I was outside. It's like I just had this certain, like something came over me, but I wasn't even thinking like of like ancestors or nothing. But it makes sense that it could have been the ancestors. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. It was just something that I had felt, and it was very like uplifting and positive. Maybe your ancestors are trying to communicate with you, or they're just letting, like, this is just confirmation that they're here and they've always been. What is the ancestors trying to tell the collective? If anything, what are they trying to tell the collective? Yeah, they got your back. They really here just supporting and everything. You know? Got abandonment. Bringing me back to me thinking like you're supposed to help somebody on this plane. But I know I had got into the energy of going from feeling like, oh, I had this purpose to do this and to do that. And then I started drifting into another space to where I was like, nah, my purpose don't consist of none of that. You know, like So I don't know why I'm getting, but I'm still picking up on like something with a relationship, whether it's a karmic and whether it's a divine counterpart. And maybe this has something to do with romance, because I've seen real love and then I keep seeing stuff with that seems like it's romantic, but it don't have to be for everybody. It can be platonic. But I know this can tie to individual selves, and it also can tie to like relationships. Maybe you need to be mindful. Open your eyes on what's love, what's not love. Trusting your intuition. Pay attention to the guidance your spiritual team is trying to give you. Confirm abandonment. Maybe you were abandoned. Maybe you ghosted someone. Maybe you could have had like a lot of trust within something, and then you probably was like left out in the cold. Something about a taxi, walking out the door. Earlier I seen moving on. Maybe you're just getting away from people that you're meant to get away from, slowly but surely. Because we did pick up on the Knight of Pentacles, and that's tied to characteristics, personalities. So if you're the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight is usually on a mission. But since it's Pentacle energy, which is Earth energy, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, it can tie to prosperity sometimes, but a lot of times it can also tie to the 3D plane, like earthly matters, whether it's materialistic things or whatever. It can also tie to like movement, right? Knights are all about movement. You got the queens, the kings, the knights, and the pages. The knights are about movement and being on like a mission of something. So this is a mission on earth, or it's a mission of prosperity, a mission of something, but it's more, rather than fast moving, like probably the Knight of Wands or Swords, it's like more slow and steady wins the race type shit. So maybe slowly but surely you get into where you need to be, right? Every experience, every step of the way, but sometimes you can get a little discouraged, you can get a little shifted off your path. So maybe just, it's really going to be important for you to trust your intuition, especially when some people, they kind of disconnect from the spiritual path, right? The ancestors, they lose faith in God, whatever the case may be. Maybe you can trust something. Man. Tell me more about this abandonment energy. There go that bondage. Confirm divination. Some of y'all are seers. That's probably why you're a believer of something. Some of y'all could have faith in something that's being manipulated, right? Because sometimes, like love spells, that's a form of manipulation, right? Maybe somebody, like you getting a reading and somebody is, it's false, right? It's probably persuading you in a direction that you're probably not meant to really go in. I don't know, but earlier I seen manipulation. I feel like something or someone don't want something to be seen, or maybe you just can't see something because it needs to be unveiled. So that's what I'm saying. If you kind of blind to something, you're just going to be blind to it, right? That's probably why you're being encouraged to trust in your intuition when it comes to these things. Faith and death magic. Oh, damn. I thought that was dark magic. Faith and death magic. Death magic. Third party sitch. Yeah, maybe it's somebody working against you, honey. Maybe it's somebody working against you with that negative ass energy, whether they trying to do death magic, spells, child, and what's making you more prone to being affected by it, which regardless, you're naturally protected. So I'm really seeing that you're not bothered by anything that's happening, whether somebody trying to do voodoo, this and that. It's really not, it's not happening. But still, for you to be in such like a low vibration, right? I feel like you're more prone to fall victim into addictions, greed, material, the 3D planes problems, rather than what's going on spiritually. Like spiritually, abandonment. Yeah, your spirit. I'm getting the energy. Spiritual team will never do you wrong, sway you wrong, leave you, whatever the case may be. But I feel like you bonded to some. I don't know if it's an entity that's still on you. Maybe you got to do some type of cord cutting from past connections or people. Or maybe you got people in your energy right now that you need to let go of, honey. You know your life. All right? But faith in death magic. Maybe y'all be believing in certain things that's like, it don't really... You know you can bring things to reality based on if you believe in them. It can be something that's false as hell, like a human being made it up. And you can wholeheartedly believe in it. And it will, that most definitely will be your reality. Maybe somebody believes too much into something, in every single thing. Which may be your biggest downfall in life. You know, you got to trust yourself before you trust anything else. I know you grew up in a world where you have to trust people outside of yourself, or that's just how everything deemed to be. Because when you grow up without people who are also not really woke, not tapped in with their spiritual side, they teach you what they know, what their parents taught them. It's just a pattern. That's why people don't be breaking the generational curses. And then you have people like you who become the generational curse breakers. Oh, that's probably that God's work right there, that generational curse breaking. Yeah. See how it's not something like putting all the weight of the world on your shoulders. Oh, I gotta save people. But more so saving yourself. But it's also helping elevate the world, etc. Or whatever the case may be. Interesting. Okay, it's coming together now. I'm like, come on now, don't let me pop a blood vessel. Like, what is this? Yeah. Yes, honey. That's what I was gonna tell you. Confirmation. Confirming abandonment and trusted. You are a healer. Who's better to do work like this other than you? The sweetheart, the earth angel, the light worker, the humanitarian, caring, nurturing individual, whether you man or woman. That's that divine feminine energy we was talking about. Sometimes it's not just necessarily a person, but the energy of what it gives. The divine feminine is nurturing, caring, you know what I'm saying? The creator. Yeah. Yep. Okay, I see. Period. So people actually do come into your life for a reason, but sometimes you got to be mindful that sometimes it's like temporary, because you can't save everybody. But people most definitely are blessed if they've ever come into energy like yours, and if they ever meet you. If I'm talking to people who meant to hear this message, for sure. Thank you all for double tapping the screen. I appreciate that. Yeah, don't be believing that people can destroy you. Like, sometimes people believe, oh, it's a curse on me. Or whatever it meant. Like I said, what you believe in, you give power to, you bring to reality. That's why I say, if you're going to believe in anything, make sure it's positive. Because beliefs are not really based on facts. It's just something that you feel is true without really evidence of it being true. But yeah, who's better to be the generational curse breaker than you? Who's better to be the healer than you? Who's better to do God's work than you? But even the earth angel can get caught up in a 3D plane, but I don't feel like it's too much like any and everybody else can. I feel like you're able to get out of the sticky situations to help and save yourself as well as others. But that's why I feel like you can go through a lot of things and bounce back from it, even if it may not be that quick. Like, you may be a person that still healing from something that happened about 4 years ago, right? But that's probably because you need to actually do the certain work that needs to be done instead of just letting time go by. Maybe that's probably why it's taking so long. But I know it's something attached to you, whether it's negative emotions, a person that just needs to be out of your energy, something, right? But I don't feel like none of these things will end you, right? Like, you know, like, I don't feel like you'll lose yourself. I don't feel like you'll go down this wrong path. I feel like you will live out your purpose in the way that you're meant to when it gets to that point. Because, you know, you still got a full journey. You still got time to bump your head. Excuse me, bruise your head up a little bit, learn some more lessons. Like, you know, it really all depends. So sometimes people be ready to give up and throw in the towel when, damn, you haven't even got to the finish line yet. You still got about 73 more years to live, or whatever the case may be, right? But I do feel like things are going to get better. Your finances, your energy, the people that you have around you, like, these things will get better, right? But what can you do now? What can you implement now in your life? Like, we was talking about creating positive routines, practicing mindfulness, getting back closer to God, faith, right? Getting back tapped in with your purpose. Especially if you were a person that believed in that type of thing anyways. But yeah, you've been abandoned, but you got through it. And you can still get through it every time. Not everybody can do that. And you can also heal the people who've been abandoned. You're a person that's very trustworthy. And very capable of a lot of godly activity. It's probably why you have, I don't know if you can heal with your hands, but you probably can. You know, there's different ways to heal. Reiki, with your voice, like talking, you know. Whether that's in the form of singing or giving a motivational speech. Like, it's just different things. A form of wisdom, like advice. It's really different ways you can heal, but I feel like it's not on you, it's in you, and it can happen in many, many different ways and forms, not just one, right? So maybe you should not alienate yourself and tap into other areas of self. You know, if you know you're a healer, then tap into many ways that you will be able to heal. And I don't mean just in like in a 3D plane sense, but, you know, balancing it out with spirituality as well. So, of course, in something that's out of this world type stuff. So yeah, people that have no access, people been trying to get a hold of you. They've been trying to send negative energy your way. It ain't happening. The only time you're able to get into some type of negative energy is if you put yourself there. Nobody can do a spell and, oh, your life is miserable now. Like, no. People can wish that you pass away. It's not going to happen. Like, people be trying to play God when we're spiritual beings. Yes, we have power. We're godly beings. But a lot of people are not tapped in a good way. Like, if you doing certain things, you got to be really connected to godly energy, which is of love, creator energy. So if you're going to create anything, it cannot be some foolishness like this, like wishing death on people. That's not godly energy. So when I tell you that anybody is acting without integrity, it's always going to backfire. And the only thing that's going to come into fruition in your life that's negative is if you bring it about. Like how you dwelling on things in the past, connecting with toxic lovers or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, yep. You put yourself there. That's the energy. It's like you put yourself there, nobody else. And sometimes we go through things to learn, to grow, to evolve, to break those generational curses. So no, it's not bad luck. No, this person don't have the power to do that. You know? Confirm. So maybe you got to stop believing in certain things and start trusting more in yourself. And God, knowing that you protected, etc. That's going to take you a long way. I'm telling you, when you have this whole, they said what you need, faith of a mustard seed. When you know, man, I'm protected. I'm telling you, regardless, you're going to trust and believe in it, and that's going to be final. But if you kind of like, I don't know, that's when the fear going to kick in, or when you're more accessible to be in fear, right? Which we can call that an entity, an energy, an attachment, some type of whatever, being bonded to that, attached to that. Everybody has their own definitions. If you're religious, you'll call something the devil. If you're spiritual, you probably say an energy or an entity, whatever, you know. It's all the same. It's just different words. Make sure you guys give me a follow if you're interested in my content, because after this, you may not see me ever again, honey. Okay? So you got to make sure you follow. Share to a friend. Confirm divination. Yeah. Yep. See, you're the creator of your life. Things can go how you want it to go based on how you believe in something. You know what I'm saying? If a reading come about and it say, you're going to be wealthy next year, and you balance out spirituality and practicality, making yourself accessible to be wealthy next year and believing that it can happen, it's going to happen. Now, if you're a person that see the reading and you just look like, man, okay, you know, then that's going to be your reality. Maybe you'll get lucky and still become wealthy, or maybe you didn't manifest that negative energy into your life, because sometimes desires can be in any form. Like, I really don't want this to happen. I really want this to happen. They're both desires, right? So they can both manifest into your life, even if you don't want it to. So, yeah. I feel like a lot of things is all about how you interpret it. All about how you interpret it. So if you interpret a reading in a negative way, or in a way that's saying, oh, it's giving me the green light, that's what you're going to go based off of. Is it saying that? Who knows? But that's what you feel it's saying. Therefore, that's what is going to be in your life. So if you get a reading and you feel like, oh, this is encouraging me to give that person a chance, and you give them a chance and now you got herpes, now you question readings. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it's really about, I'm telling you, like, your interpretation. Because a message can come out and it could say one thing, and you can probably interpret it in a whole nother way that it's probably not necessarily trying to come off. But a lot of these things, it doesn't have words, a voice. People on this plane are who give it the voice, right? Especially when we're talking about divination. You go based off of what your thoughts is saying, your mind. So if you're in a negative spirit, you may interpret things in a negative way. But if you're in a more open-minded, I'm able to, you know, go through things but not allow that to affect me drastically, then you'll be able to get some better messages as well. So getting the energy, you know, just trusting yourself. I feel like y'all went through a lot of things in your life to where you may be a little skeptical, a little hurt in the present tense, but you're being encouraged, you know, move forward. Life has continued. Time, it literally does not stop for anyone, right? That's a saying. You can be stuck on something that happened way in 2012. We in 2025. The calendar said, baby, I'm still gonna go. You gonna come? Because I'm gonna go. It's gonna keep turning them pages. You like, wait, I'm still sorry. You know what I'm saying? You gotta move forward. You can't stay stuck, stagnant, and etc. Life is going to continue to move forward. Your mind is still gonna be stuck on something else, and that's probably not the case in the present tense. But yet, that's how you're gonna see it. That's how you're gonna see life. That's how you're gonna interpret it. That's how your life is going to be. That's how you're gonna live it. Right? So if you got this dark cloud over you, that's what it's gonna be. So help yourself get out of these energies, because your day-to-day life is looking a bit sad emotionally. And I feel like it don't have to be this way, but it's just some type of attachment, bondage of negative energy, emotions, behavior, I don't know, people, some that's tied to you. And I told you, nobody is that powerful or capable being on this earthly plane, being human beings, especially who not really tapped in and connected with God, because God is something that's beautiful. These people are very low vibrational. So look at things from a higher perspective. Look at things from a godly perspective. You know, continue to break those generational curses, and you know, be there for yourself. Your spiritual team is there, whether you know it or not, but be there for yourself. Don't allow yourself to miss out on dreams, goals, aspirations, because whatever is going on in your life. Oh, I had a kid, so I can't do this no more. Oh, you know, I married the wrong person. Now I'm heartbroken and I can't be in another relationship without... No. Okay? Move forward. I can't move forward for you. You know that saying? Like, I can do this, I can do that, but I can't do it for you. Like how some people say, I love you. Or, excuse me, at least I had said this before. I love you, but it's always best when you love yourself. Because what's the point if you don't? So be there for yourself. You're going through disharmony. You're going through this. You're going through that. You're going through some type of lack. A lot of times, don't ever feel like you're in lack. It's all in your head. You're very abundant. You just don't see it. Because the PTSD, the trauma, the stuff you still haven't moved on from, whatever is going on in your current life, the stuff you're still dwelling on from the past, it's too much. What's going on with this karmic versus divine energy? Something is false in it. That's what I'm saying. Maybe you think you got some type of contract with certain entities or negative beings. Oh, that's my mom. That's my dad. So, that has nothing to do with it, my guy. That's what I'm saying. We create our life based on our beliefs. So if you feel like that you're never meant to disconnect from your family, who told you that? Nobody told you nothing, because guess what? Life is created with free will. Free will to believe in what you want, do what you want, etc. At the end of the day, it's still consequences, though. Karma, cause and effect. damn, this happened to me. I thought life would have been like this because, you know, I did what I was supposed to do. But who told you that's what you were supposed to do in life? Was it your parent and guardian and their own personal beliefs? Was it your intuition? Like, what was it? Because if it was your intuition, I feel like that don't lead you astray. That don't lead you wrong at all, you know? So sometimes, even if you're not used to it, you need to start going within and trusting in yourself. And trusting that God got you. But whatever is going on with this, I know twin flames are significant. Maybe some of y'all are dealing with a person. I don't know if y'all met two people already, or if there's a person trying to come into your life, but maybe this past individual is interfering with them coming in. But all I know is something is false. If you feel like, oh, I have a contract with this person, I'm supposed to be with this person, that is not the truth. It's very much false. And I feel like you're keeping yourself away from real love or true love. I don't know if something happened to you in the past and you haven't healed from it, so it's affecting your present relationship. I don't know if the present relationship or the person you had cut off or moved on from, or I don't know what's going on in your life. And for some reason, the new person can't come in because you're still attached to this person in some type of way, whether it's energetically, physically, sexually, whatever it is. I don't know. But all I know is something is false. Something is false. And it may have something to do with a partnership, a relationship. And it could be romantic. For everybody, it's probably not. But it most definitely can be. That's why I said earlier, maybe some of y'all are confusing a divine masculine with a karmic. Or maybe some of y'all are confusing this karmic energy as like karmic and not divine. Like it's something. It can really go either way. It can really go either way. Maybe some of y'all can contact your ancestors and ask them, because they will respond. You know, maybe you can do some type of ritual that can help you get answers. Maybe divination can help you get answers. But that's what I'm saying. Like, for some of y'all who get confused a little bit when it comes to divination, or you lack faith when it comes to other people giving you readings, a lot of times this is when you should go within, you know? Like, damn, I still got a reading and I still don't really know if that's the truth. Or I'm a reader myself, but I'm fucking confused. I don't know if the message is telling me yay or nay, you know? That's when you go within. That's when you take a break from the divination, honey. But other than that, like I said, your ancestors be around. In divination, when you, regardless, I'm telling you, that's how protected you are. And because of who you are within, you're doing God's work as well. Oh yeah, you ain't got to worry about nothing. It's really, so if you worried about any damn thing, you're doing that to yourself, and you're causing yourself to not be free. You're literally not free. You're like in a mental prison. Or you're like in prison and you're literally free in real life. So that means you could be alienating yourself, not dreaming big, like believing in shit that's false. It could be anything, right? So just keep that in mind. That's pretty much the message. If you guys want to get on the list before I get out of here, just let me know in the comments, or you can go ahead and send in your payment on the link above. I have Chime, PayPal. I don't have, no, I have Venmo. I was thinking of Zelle. I don't have Zelle. All my payment options are listed, so have Apple Pay and everything. So if you're interested in getting a reading, let me know in the comments first so I can stay on live. Because like I said, I upload these to YouTube, and I want to make sure they're like a certain amount of time and they don't involve like whatever the case may be. So if you guys are wanting to get on the list, link in bio, scroll down till you see payment options, and you can send in your payment there, and we can get started on your reading on live or off of live. All right, but yeah, Capricorn energy, Scorpio, I'm really getting fixed sign energy. Leo, Taurus, Aquarius energy. Virgo energy could be significant. It doesn't have to be. In Cancer and or Pisces energy, amongst other energies for sure. I won't be surprised if every zodiac sign is significant, but that's just the energies that it's coming out for it. All right, last and final confirmations when it comes to these separate energies with this karmic versus divine energy. What is the ancestors or God is trying to tell us about that energy? Last confirmations. And then I'm going to go ahead and head out. Regardless if they're karmic or divine, I feel like go based off your intuition and go based off like keeping your standards high. If someone is not for you, they're not for you. They need more time to grow, heal, and evolve. Period. Don't sacrifice yourself or risk your heart being broken for someone that's temporary or a false soulmate, right? And I'm also getting a separate energy. Heal, grow, move forward, put your big boy drawers or your big girl panties on. Yeah. And really embody change in this new life, right? You are the creator. You have to create the new life. It's already here. I know when you hear people talk about, oh, the new earth is here. Some people felt the shift, some people didn't. But it's all about you implementing that, creating that, seeing life as such. Tell me more about this divine masculine karmic energy. What's going on with this? What's going on with this karmic divine energy? What is the message trying to tell me about that? Yeah, I should get another oracle deck and tap in with it. Yeah, see, some of y'all manifestations, it's like coming through, but maybe it's kind of delayed, blocked in some type of way. I'm telling you, like the message has already been said, but you know me, I'm trying to get some more energy. Like, so, but like I said, maybe somebody is manipulating something, manipulating your mind, body, soul, your journey. But somebody, they're not the one, and somebody else is, okay? Or for some of y'all, you got to see beyond the illusion of something, because maybe you feel something is true, but it's false. Period. That's the message. I'll see y'all later. Have a great rest of your lifetime, and thank you for tuning in.